right off the bat, man.
Until it's February.
Welcome back to the Project Gen X podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Alan Smith, along with...
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And we are coming to you on a overcast and rainy kind of
regular February
day in Tennessee. It's not hot. It's not cold. It's kind of somewhere in the middle.
Humid and a little miserable.
Tennessee is one of those wonderful places where it will be 40 degrees and humid outside, and it's just like, how? Yeah. How do we get chilly and humid at the same time? That is the worst feeling.
Technically, I think being in this climate zone, we're a temperate climate. I think we're technically a rainforest.
I don't know, but I have heard people who have moved here, or were here on vacation when I was, still doing rideshare.
Yeah.
That talked about, man, I can't believe that it's this temperature and it's so humid. Mm-hmm. Like, I'm like, I know, I get it. There's nothing, I can't tell you. That is one of the worst things is to be cold and sweating because of the humidity.
The problem is if that temperature drops down below freezing, that humidity turns into rain, then freezing rain, then sleet.
Ice. I know, exactly.
And then we get the snow on top of it.
We get the ice and then the snow, which is a deadly combination between the two. Which, since we recorded last, we have had a snowstorm.
Yeah.
Like a legit snowstorm.
Yeah. Got something like 7 or 8 inches at the house.
And then you got a little more than we did. We still hit somewhere between 5 and 6 inches, somewhere in there. But
it's just the difference of me being up on the ridge.
It really is. And then where my place is now, I live basically at the bottom of four hills. So it's like trying to get out of here is fun because you're going uphill some way to get out. And it was pretty rough there for a little bit, and I just stayed inside, like, all right, whatever.
Well, I've got 4-wheel drive, and I didn't even bother to get out.
Well, I got out.
Because we have a fairly good ravine that we've got to go through to get out of our neighborhood.
Well, that's during the snow I got out. Not the first 2 days, because it was here for almost a week, solid. And we got down cold, like down to single digits.
Yeah, it was like 8, 9
at night, and it's for several
which is
nights.
unusual for around here.
Yeah, and for several nights in a row.
Now, I've lived up north. I've lived in Michigan. I've lived in Illinois. For those of you who are up north and you're making fun of us right now, let me just say that you really shouldn't make fun of us when we get snow down here, because it's kind of rare. Like when a northern football conference wins a championship. So we had 2 rare things.
Take that shot.
We had 2 rare things happen this year, but it's a completely different snow, guys. When we lived in Michigan, it was dry powder.
Right.
It's easier to drive on, even if you have some hills, which you don't have a whole lot of. Mm-hmm. And Illinois is flat as this table.
Yes.
So it doesn't matter. And that's a completely different type of snow.
Yes.
On top of it,
down here is a wet snow that
packs into
ice,
and when they scrape for it, it actually makes it worse.
Yes, it does, and also the fact that since we don't get it that often, it is also one of those things that we do not have the infrastructure built in to take care of it.
Nope.
And again, that is
because
talking to people from up north who have moved down here.
Yeah.
Talk about, I can't believe you got a couple inches of snow and the whole city shut down. I was like, yeah, I tell you what. Try driving on this stuff.
Oh, and
that's always my look. Try driving on it, because it's not the same as what you're used to driving on.
What's funny is we've had some folks from up north move into the neighborhood, and the second it started snowing, I was watching them, just driving out of the neighborhood, like they were going to get back into it later,
right?
And then getting stuck half the way, the way up the hill, getting back in.
I got stuck twice in the same day.
Yeah,
in my 328 that I have, it doesn't have snow tires on it or anything, but I had to get out. Well, I didn't have to. I did one of the reason I was out is I went because since we recorded last, I have crossed over into my 50th year, and so I had
new ink.
I had a tattoo.
Dead man's hand.
Kinda.
Aces and eights.
It's aces and eights. It's not the legit dead man's hand. The traditional dead man's hand is
diamonds and hearts, isn't it?
It's all black. It's it's spades and clubs, and it's just the aces and eights. This is an actual, it's just like 2 aces, 2 eights, 2 pair. This is a full house.
Yeah.
And I put aces over eights, and I wanted the color of the red in there as well. So anyway, but yeah, I got I had to schedule this for the tattoo, and then I got stuck trying to get out of the drive over there. I didn't really get stuck. I had a hard time getting out. I finally got enough momentum going to get up over the hump and everything. And then I had to go for business. I had to go to one of our houses. And as soon as I pulled into the driveway, I'm like, this is not going to be good because it was all downhill and it was icy. And I actually wound up getting stuck. And it was one of those things where my cousin happened to be, Charlie, I know you're listening. Thanks again for this. He was actually working on one of our other houses in the area. And so I was like, hey, can you swing by here? So it was one of those things with him and then the guy that rents from us. It was really nice. They helped get me out of there, but it took some doing.
Nice.
It took some like, okay, give me a shovel and like trying to just get where like one tire could get traction to get some momentum up. So yeah.
Here's a piece of advice I'm going to give you.
Yes.
Go ahead and get a couple of those buckets of cat litter.
Have you seen my car?
One bucket will fit in your trunk.
No, it will not. You remember, my trunk is tiny.
It's not that big of a bucket.
No, those things will not fit in the trunk of my car.
Then at least put it in the back seat of your car.
Well, I don't need them most times, but yes,
No,
you're
it's
right.
something
You're
you
right.
keep in your
Something
garage,
I know.
then you put in the car.
I've got underneath the carport out here. I have sandbags out there. You know, I mean,
but if you're trying to get traction,
I know you need something for it to get on, and I know, and I know the cat litter. No, you forget my car is the hardtop convertible, and it all goes down into the trunk.
Yeah.
So literally, the size of what usable part of my trunk is about a third of the size of this table, like legitimately. And it's like even the other day, because like I had to go get all new tires because of the snowstorm.
That's the other fun part of winter around here is the potholes.
And I was a little over a week ago coming back home. I was on the interstate going around downtown Nashville, coming back around and hit a pothole and blew all four of my tires.
Yep.
And so it was, and like three of them had cuts in them.
Yep.
And so I'd have,
Have you filed with the city yet or the state?
Yet. I'm going to, though, because that's $1,000.
Yeah.
Because of some other stuff.
What road was it on?
It was on 265.
Oh, that's the state.
Yeah.
That's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, I know. But it was it was like right there at the exchange where it ties back into 65 South, right before Wedgwood. It's where I hit it. I was in the middle lane. Never saw it. I mean, just like it was like bang, bang. And then all of a sudden it was like, you got to be kidding me. And it just.
It didn't bend the rims, did it?
No. Thankfully, it didn't do that. So yeah, that's
because I know those are kind of low profile tires on those rims
anyway. They are, but I'll tell you what, they put the new tires on there. I mean, it drove great to begin with, but since they put the new tires on it, man, that thing handles amazing.
That's actually one of the reasons why I'm thinking about putting smaller rims so I can get more tire around the rim.
Yeah. And it is because, of course, that's a sports car that I have, and it does have lower profile tires and everything. So, yeah, that's kind of been the what's been happening in Tennessee since we recorded last.
Tornadoes, snowstorms.
Tornado happened prior to our previous recording, and then we had snowstorms since then, and now we're in February, and we've got rain. So it's just like every time we do one of these, I guess we're just going to give you the weather report from Tennessee, let you know what's going on. So.
It's almost like the old days at the College Station.
God, I'm telling you, it's going
to be cloudy and 65. You're listening to.
Well, it was so funny because we did our typical Tennessee thing.
Yeah.
It was at the beginning of the week. It started snowing on Sunday.
Yep.
And Monday morning, of course, we had about 6 inches of snow. Where you were, you had about 8 inches.
Yep.
Everything was shut down. I mean, everything was shut down. Everything stayed that way for a couple of days, but the temperature kept falling. So we're getting down, like by the time Wednesday rolls around, we're looking at temperatures that are in the the single digits.
Yep.
And it was like that for a couple of days, and then it started getting warmer. And by warmer, I mean like, oh, look, the low is only 20, that kind of stuff. But then by the time the next week rolled around, we were up at 65 degrees.
Yep.
It was just like, typical Tennessee weather.
If you don't like the weather, wait a couple days.
It literally, we had snow. We still had probably about 4 inches of snow here on I think it was the next Monday.
Yeah.
And then by Wednesday, you couldn't even tell that there had ever been snow anywhere, and it was 65 degrees outside. Yep. It was like, you've got to be kidding.
And nice enough you could have gotten the bikes out.
Absolutely. I saw so many bikes. Well,
yeah.
And let me tell you, that's another thing. After my little fiasco with my vehicle on the interstate, with the tires and everything, I'm like, I'm really glad I was not on my bike.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, man, and the thing I have noticed in the last week or so, a lot of the really bad ones around here have been filled at least. So they're not as, but there's still some bad ones.
The problem is all of that fresh patch will be knocked out within the next 3 weeks.
Any time whatsoever.
Especially with this week of rain that we've got going on.
I know. So, but yeah, it's been fun. It really not a whole lot outside of the snow. There really hadn't been a whole lot going on around here. There's been a few things. It was funny because I started making a list of stuff for us to talk about on this. It was just like, oh, let's talk about this. And now I can't find it, and my brain has gone completely.
You should have written it down. And if you wrote it down, you should have put it on a magnet on the fridge.
Since we convened last time, something kind of miraculous happened. Well, not miraculous, but something kind of interesting.
What's that?
Joe Rogan's back on all the podcast places.
What?
You didn't know about this? Spotify signed a deal.
Yeah.
Where his show is not exclusive to Spotify any longer. It's now available on all podcasting.
They had major layoffs at Spotify.
But this was this new deal that they signed with him is for like another couple $100 million. But Spotify is going to retain the advertising rights.
Okay, so they can throw whatever ads they want.
But it's one of those things that he's back on YouTube, he's back on Apple Podcasts, like all of that stuff. Matter of fact, it just happened, I think it was on Thursday or something like that it was announced on at the beginning of the week, and by the end of the week, he was back on everything.
Hey, look at that. He's on Podcast Guru.
Yeah, I know. So that's, it's like, all right, I get to listen to Joe Rogan again. So
nice. Oh, Cameron Hayes and Stephen Renelia right off the bat.
The Aaron Rodgers episode's pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's as far as podcasts go, that's actually a pretty big deal.
Oh, I missed. They had Colion Noir back on.
Yes,
I missed it.
Yeah, I was looking back through some of the recent episodes to see if there was anybody I need to go back and listen to.
Bobby Lee.
I did listen to that one. I did listen to that. That one's not quite as funny because he talks a lot about his struggles with addiction and all that kind of stuff. But some of it is hilarious. So
there's Ron White.
Yeah,
I've missed some pretty big shows.
So, yeah, so if you guys are Rogan fans and don't like Spotify like me, and you can listen to him again.
And I highly suggest looking at Podcast Guru as a podcaster. I like that one really well.
That, like I said, I use Overcast. I like it well. It's Apple Podcast just did some kind of update of their terms of service that I still have not gone in and looked at yet, because it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, every time that they do some kind of TOS update, I always find something in it I don't like.
Yeah.
Like always. It never fails. And so I'm just like, all right, I guess I'm going to get in and look at this in a little bit. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. I tell you what, if for those of you who are listening to us, go check out Gen X Slacker. I started following the guy on initially on X with I found him on there. I'm like, okay, and then come to find out he had a podcast. I think he has a video podcast on Rumble, if I'm not mistaken. But it's really just but there's an audio version of it also.
Yeah,
and it's a lot of rundown of just.
And I've tried listening to it. It's almost like a stoner Casey Kasem.
A little bit
of the year.
He
whatever the year de jour
he's
is.
Local-ish to us.
Is he?
He's in Kentucky.
Okay.
He says that he's in, was it Burkeville, Kentucky?
Burksville,
Kentucky, yeah.
Not Burksville.
Burksville. Excuse me. I'm losing my southern here. It's did you ever see Elizabethtown? the movie.
Yeah.
Okay.
None of that is E-Town.
I know. But what's funny is, the hell, when they're in the quote, the Nashville airport, that was shot in Franklin, like not anywhere near the airport.
I mean, probably the most Kentucky thing in that movie is the fact that members of My Morning Jacket are in the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
but the funny thing about it though is that when he's talking, he says he's saying about Louisville, and she's like, Louisville.
Yeah.
No, he's like, yeah, I know. I'm heading to Louisville. It's Louisville. People will know you're not from around here if you pronounce it that way. It's like, yeah, you're right. That's
now just so our listeners who aren't from around here get it. It's Louisville.
Vul. Not Ville, Vul.
And you don't even really pronounce the
Louisville.
It's Louisville.
Louisville. It's one word.
Yeah.
It's one syllable.
Almost.
You think it's like if you pronounce it phonetically, like Louisville. Three syllables.
It would be Louisville.
Well, yeah, but it's
according to spelling.
Yeah, but
it's Louisville.
Yeah, but phonetically, it's 3 syllables. If you're from the South, it's about one and a half. Yeah. It's about 1.5 is what it is.
Yeah. It's kind of like, everybody talks about Elizabethtown.
Yeah.
Nobody from Kentucky calls it. No, it's E-Town.
E-Town. Well, yeah.
They just shorten it. It's E-Town. Yeah. It's kind of like Hopkinsville.
It's Hoptown.
It's Hoptown.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. We could go into all kinds of that stuff. Like we've got a. Yes, it is spelled Lebanon.
Yeah.
But everyone around here calls it Lebanon. And that's how you can always tell who's from here and who isn't. Yep. Or we have a Mountain Juliet. But if you're from here, you pronounce it Mount Juliet.
No.
It's Mount Juliet.
It's Mount Juliet.
If you're from Mountain Juliet, it's Mount Juliet.
Yeah.
It's Juliet.
Juliet.
Mount Juliet. And then, of course, we have the ever-popular Lafayette. We are all aware that it's Lafayette, but we pronounce it Lafayette. And there is a reason for that. There is a historical reason for that. It was making fun of a general. And so it's and then there's also the ever-present Demon Bruin, which is actually Demumbrian, which is named after a state representative.
Yep.
So it's, but everybody's like that Demon Bruin. It's Demumbrian.
Yeah, you can always tell the out-of-towners because they're like, we're supposed to go over to Demon Bruin.
Yeah, no.
It's
Demumbrian. Yeah,
it's like that is not a brewery.
And yes, we have places like Bon Aqua and Bon Air and then Buck Snort and
Bug Tussle.
Yeah,
I think that's Kentucky though.
No, yeah, I know we definitely have some strange names for towns and areas around here, but that's every place has its local character.
Yeah,
and so all right, I'm gonna go ahead and do this.
About the only thing I've done since the last time is worked, and I did go get my GMRS radio license.
Yeah, tell us about that. I know you said something about it.
Okay, so everybody's familiar with CB. A lot of folks are familiar with ham radio. GMRS is General Radio Mobile Service, and it's kind of a half step between CB and ham radio because it is a licensed radio license. You actually have to go to the FCC and apply for this license and pay for it. But you don't have to do the testing that you have to do for ham radio. It's kind of like a step up from CB, and it's a step towards ham radio.
Okay.
And there are rules that you have to follow, and yes, you have a call sign that is assigned to you by the FCC, and you have to use that call sign at certain times in your talking back and forth to people.
Mm-hmm.
And those frequencies, and the radios that you can get for them are fixed frequency radios.
Right.
They're actually by channel.
Right.
But the cool thing about it is that some folks have actually figured out how to set up repeaters.
Mm-hmm.
So Nashville actually has several different GMRS repeaters in and around Nashville, to where if you're using a 5-watt radio and you're needing to get out a little bit further, you can actually hit one of the repeaters, and the repeater radio takes your signal, boost it, and broadcast it out further, which is kind of cool.
That's cool.
And as I'm kind of studying for my first level of ham on top of it, it's kind of a baby stuff.
That is one of the things I have thought about multiple times over the years, and it's kind of fallen into the same category of me being like, hey, you know what? I really got to take, Spanish is a second language class that I've never gotten around to in 20 plus years. So
but the license is like $35. Mm-hmm. It is a little difficult to figure out how to get the thing from the FCC because it is a government website. Right. And as we know, government websites are terrible to navigate.
They are a nightmare to try to make heads or tails from.
It's $35 for the license. It's a 10-year license, so you've got to renew it every 10 years, and it covers like your immediate family.
Oh, well, that's
so
cool.
It would, if your immediate family is going to use it, you've just got to teach them how to use the thing. So, it would cover like your dad and Xander and like any in-laws or brothers or sisters or anything like that. It, would cover my wife and her parents and my mom and my sisters and some other stuff. Yeah, it's a little warm in here. Turn that thermostat down. Sorry, I was trying to fill, but...
No, I appreciate it. When I start getting hot, it's probably hot in here.
Well, what was your first clue? The fact that my glasses are fogging up?
I was sitting here and all of a sudden I was like, man, I'm starting to sweat. And so I actually had to, because and the thing is the thermostat was turned down to like 66, but the heat was on. So I just turned the air on. We'll let that happen for you. Another great thing about Tennessee is you can go from the heat in the morning to the air in the afternoon, back to the heat at night. So
it's really kind of, I've been thinking about actually getting one of the thermostats where you can set it like 2 degrees apart.
Right.
So that it auto switches between heat and air conditioning.
Right, yeah.
Because those are handy around here.
Well,
but it's one of those things to where certain channels you can broadcast a certain amount of wattage because it overlaps with FRS radio, which is those little bubble pack walkie-talkies you see at Walmart that everybody gets for like road trips and all that. Right. That's FRS.
Yeah, I've got one.
So those,
I got a set of them here somewhere.
Those overlap, and those are only like a half watt.
Right.
And even GMRS is only allowed to transmit at a half watt in those certain frequencies. But on the frequencies below, it's 5 watts. On the frequencies above them, before you get to the repeaters, they make mobile units that can go up to like 50 watt.
Okay.
So you can like set a mobile unit up as a base station or in your car, with 50 watts and really reach out and touch somebody.
Oh, well, there you go. So, yeah, that's I know we have a tendency to start talking about a little bit of prepping stuff whenever we get on these, but those things you just never know, because again, it's kind of one of those, like, not even talking about the end of the world or societal breakdown, talking about like, hey, we've already had two weather events happen here in a month apart from each other.
Power's
basically.
down.
Yeah, and you
supply chains are cut.
Exactly, and it's like, hey, sometimes it rains really hard, and you live in a low-lying area and you can't get out, and you need something to.
I'm going to admit it. I have a Instagram account that is just for like homesteading and electrical and radios, and it's kind of my prepper channel.
Yeah, there's a couple of YouTube channels that I follow that are they're not prep. A lot of it is bushcraft stuff, where it's like you never know. You just never know what could happen, and it's also stuff that when I was a kid, I wasn't in Boy Scouts, but the church that I went to had a kind of an equivalent to it, and so I learned a lot of that stuff, like tying knots and how to make how to build a fire, with you only using one match, and all this kind of, and it's just stuff that it's basic stuff that you might need someday. Yeah, you just never know, how to build a temporary shelter, if you get lost in the woods or something, they'll at least get you through the night.
My latest thing has been building raised beds. Mm-hmm. And incorporating hugel culture into it. It's where you can actually make raised beds. You start with like logs, right? And then you're basically making like a long mound, and it's like logs and then leaves, and then you just keep building it up until you have like this.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah,
I love
you can plant plants on.
I love some of the things that I see in the bushcraft where these guys will go in to the woods and basically dig out a house. Yeah, they'll go in and they'll put like working stoves inside of them just with using what's available to them and stuff. And it's like, this is the craziest, like, this is so cool. You know,
I know when I've been looking at the stuff too much.
I know,
because when I get on Facebook Marketplace, suddenly I'm seeing
I know
I'm seeing advertisements for like wood burning stoves.
I know, and
like Amish built wood cooking stoves, and yeah.
Since our last episode was we covered Seven, and we talked about how it was supposed to be available on HBO Max, and it wasn't. It's back on there now. Like the other day, I went on there. It was like just added, and Seven was right there. It's like okay, so it's for those of you.
So it's back.
It's back. You know, it was on there previously because I remembered seeing it. I was like, oh yeah. One of the other things that also was just added.
You know. Your take on that ending gave me nightmares for like 3 nights, right?
Hey, it's what I'm here for. So one of the other things that was added recently on Max is a movie that everyone says could never get made these days.
Blazing Saddles?
Yes. I'm going to play this.
Are we...
Hold up.
Oh, no.
See if this is actually going to work.
Do you have the channel up?
Yep.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline Stewart from Turner Classic Movies.
It's an intro that's put on the front of this movie.
You're about to watch a film from 1974 that many consider one of the greatest comedies of all time. From director Mel Brooks, it's Blazing Saddles. In the 1970s, 80s, and into the 90s, Mel Brooks led the way when it came to spoofing established movie genres, with parodies like Young Frankenstein, a send-up of classic horror films, High Anxiety, which poked fun at Alfred Hitchcock thrillers, and Spaceballs, a sci-fi comedy inspired by Star Wars. But it was Blazing Saddles that started it all. This movie is an overt and totally audacious spoof of classic westerns, and it's as provocative today as it was when it premiered back in 1974. The story takes place in a cliché of an old western town called Rock Ridge, which happens to be located directly in the path of a railroad.
So we now have to have an explainer at the beginning of the movie.
One of those politicians, played by Harvey Korman, decides that the easiest way to get the townspeople to give up their land is to install a black man as the new sheriff. He figures the locals will be so bigoted that they'll just get up and leave the minute he rides into town. He's not wrong. The people of Rock Ridge do demonstrate every possible prejudice toward the new sheriff, played by Cleavon Little, and with the assistance of a down-and-out gunslinger, played by Gene Wilder, the black sheriff manages to win the grudging respect of the local white citizens. As the storyline implies, the issue of race is front and center in Blazing Saddles.
This totally makes it sound like a drama instead of a comedy.
I know.
Those attitudes are espoused by characters who are explicitly portrayed here as narrow-minded, ignorant bigots. The film's real and much more enlightened perspective is represented by the two main characters, played by Cleavon Little and Gene Wilder. Legendary comedian Richard Pryor was originally considered for the role of the sheriff, but Warner Brothers objected, arguing that Pryor's history of drug-related arrests and controversial stand-up material made him too much of a risk. Instead, the role went to Cleavon Little,
it was hysterical, but if Pryor had actually had it,
Tony-Award-winning Broadway actor who was also known for his work on television. Richard Pryor remained involved with the project as a screenwriter, and his groundbreaking style of calling out racism through bold and daring comedy helped to shape the tone and content of this film. It blended Slim Pickens and Mel Brooks.
How about...
I didn't mean to do that. But anyways, let's put it this way. That was...
I'm going to turn this
on. No, we're good. There is an almost 10-minute explanation on the front of that of, hey, what you're getting ready to watch. Like, dude, just if you can't watch that movie and understand that it is making fun
of all the stereotypes anybody could ever come up with.
And that's the whole thing with that movie. You know, satire. Okay.
Yeah.
The concept of satire has been completely lost on the previous two generations behind us. Yeah. Of like, look, yes, they use some language that's not acceptable. It wasn't acceptable then, although it was tolerated a lot more in 74, but it still was not acceptable language then. And it's especially now in this age that we live in, it's just, oh, you can't say that stuff, or else, your whole world's going to crumble around you. But that was the whole thing, is that they were satiring the people who actually had those narrow-minded views and making them look like idiots.
Yeah.
And that was the whole point. The fact that you have a almost 10-minute intro to give you context is like, dude, it's real simple, okay? All you have to do is say, that was 50 years ago. Things are different. Enjoy Blazing Saddle. I mean, that's it. It's... But I know what it is. It's Max. It's Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Oh well, we don't want to put this out there and people think that we're endorsing this kind of thing. We don't have a backbone.
No,
have
it's
a
the
freaking
whole.
backbone.
We don't want to get canceled.
It's exact. We don't want to get. We don't want the uproar. We don't want people
Yeah.
going on social media and saying that we're endorsing this. It's one of those things.
I mean,
where
the
it's
whole
like, man,
movie.
it's ridiculous.
The whole movie ends with a fist fight where it shows the entire soundstage.
I know.
And they're
it's
fighting
just-
with all the other movies that are getting made at the same time.
Exactly, and it's such a brilliant movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it is a brilliant. Mel Brooks, he had a couple of missteps. Was it Dracula Dead and Loving It was not good.
No.
And but it's funny because when you look at through all of his other stuff that he did, that's like the one that is bad. I mean, really and truly, all the rest of Mel Brooks stuff is just genius.
Well, what's funny is that everybody throws Young Frankenstein in there with it, but that was a Gene Wilder thing.
He wrote a lot of it.
He wrote most of it.
Yeah, but it was a Mel Brooks movie.
It was a Mel Brooks movie because Wilder went to him and go, "Hey, would you please produce this so I can get this thing made?" But that was a Gene Wilder jam the whole time.
But yeah, you just go down.
The original History of the World Part 1
so good.
was hysterical.
That is hilarious.
History of the World Part 2 sucked.
They did that just a few years ago, didn't they? Yeah, I didn't even bother.
Yeah, and it was.
I didn't even bother with it.
It was so.
Yeah. Because again, that was kind of one of the jokes. History of the World Part 1, and then they give you previews of Part 2, and it never comes out.
Exactly.
Just like, okay. So yeah, it's kind of like what was it? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. There was something about a joke where it was it was like the fourth book in the trilogy or something. Like it was like one of those things where it was like, wait a second, yeah. So things have gotten so. Oh, we can't offend anybody. Oh, we can't. Somebody might get offended somewhere, at some time in the world. So we have to go out here and we have to put something in front. Get out in front of this before it happens. It's just like, get over it. Seriously, I know.
Whatever.
I know. And yeah. So but I wanted to share that. I didn't know if you had actually heard about that or not.
No, I hadn't.
That actually, when I guess it was a little over a week ago, that started making the rounds on several things that. I had seen where it was on it was on Max because I was watching because the new season of True Detective is out. And have you watched it?
I tried to.
Really?
It's like
I'll tell you the first couple of episodes are kind of what's going on here, but now we're into like the fifth episode just dropped. I haven't watched the newest one yet.
Yeah.
But after you get past those first couple episodes, like, okay, now we're starting to get somewhere.
Yeah.
That show has always been a slow burn. Like every season of it has been a slow burn. And so yeah, and the fact there's also 6 years between seasons sometimes. And they're not. They've kind of loosely connected them together, where they've referenced stuff and other, but it's an anthology show, which I really like. So.
I've kind of gone back and I'm kind of creeping back through Peaky Blinders again.
Oh yeah,
it's a pretty good show.
It's I was telling you before we got on here. I finally I'm catching up on the second and apparently last season of Heels. The Stars show.
Yeah.
And because I love that first season. I mean, it was great. And this one is just as good. And it's like, wow. And I've still got a couple episodes to go, but it has been canceled. Like Stars was like, yeah, we're not doing a season 3, but apparently the producers are shopping it to other networks to try to get on. I was like, all right, I would like to see more of this. I really enjoy this world and not only just for the wrestling, but the little town of Duffy, and all this kind of stuff. So,
that I don't know why that made me think of this, but you're talking about wrestling, I saw where season 3 of The Bear is supposed to premiere in June.
Okay. Oh yeah, because the guy was in the Iron.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
Iron Claw. That's
you
how
need to see that movie.
I need to.
It's so good, man.
And they're already shooting for Reacher season 3.
That's what I hear.
So I'm kind of excited for that.
I have not watched any of that. I mean, not for any.
Well, it's on Amazon.
Yeah, I know it, and
I've really enjoyed this version of Reacher.
Okay.
It's so much better than the Tom Cruise version.
Haven't they done a couple of? Didn't they do the same thing with that character like they have with the Patriot, the Tom Clancy guy, Jack?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Red
Jack
October.
Ryan.
Yeah,
Jack Ryan. Like
yeah.
they've had multiple people play him, and it's like over movies and seasons and stuff. And they do the same thing with Reacher.
Well, he's only the second guy to play Reacher.
Okay.
You had the 2 Tom Cruise movies,
right?
Which I was so mad about because Cruise isn't even close to being like physically the same as what's described in the books. Alan Richter, I can't ever say his last name.
Okay.
Is much more close to what you would imagine him being described as in the books.
Okay.
It's the same guy who played Hawk for the live-action Teen Titans on HBO.
I have not watched
or maybe it was just Titans.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but no, I haven't watched.
Yeah, but he played
DC
Hawk.
Stuff, so.
He was of Hawk and Dove.
Okay.
And they're talking about him being maybe the new Batman. So, which might be a good choice. I could see that.
It's we're kind of in that doldrums of new stuff right now because it's like January and February traditionally is just like kind of a dumping ground of, you either get movies that the studios aren't real confident in that they'll dump in January and February, or on television, this is a lot of mid-season replacement stuff, which was like, well, we didn't feel like it. Like it could have carried an entire season, so we'll give it 13 episodes or however many, and then we'll put it on mid-season and see if it has enough momentum to carry it into a second one. Which some good shows have come from that.
Sometimes,
some shows that we like Buffy started off that way. Dawson's Creek started off that way. A show that I absolutely love. It was only 2 seasons, but October Road. It was like that. It was a mid-season replacement, and then they had a full season. I wish that had carried on, but it is what it is. I tell you, dude, you need to watch Jericho. I don't know if it's on anything. Hold on, let me go look.
Like I was looking at AMC just to see what was playing right now. Mm-hmm. A movie called Argyle.
Yeah.
The Gloria Gaynor I Will Survive movie. Some movie called Lisa Frankenstein.
Which I've heard is actually pretty good.
The Beekeeper.
Yes,
which is Jason Statham.
But again, they dumped it in...
the remake of Mean Girls, which should have never been touched.
Well, you know what it is, right?
Dune Part 2.
You know the whole deal with Mean Girls, right?
No.
It's a musical. See, what they didn't tell anybody, all they said was like, oh, yeah, we're doing a remake of... Well, no, what they did was they did a movie version of the play Mean Girls. Like, there's a Broadway play that's a musical.
Yeah.
And so they made that version of it. And so a lot of people went into that movie not knowing that it was a musical because they didn't advertise it for anything. It was just like, what am I watching here? So Jericho is available on Paramount Plus to stream. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, I've got that.
2 seasons. I think the first season is a full like 22 episodes, and the second season I think is only like 10 or 12 or something like that. And there is a tonal shift between the two because it's kind of a during and after type thing.
Okay.
But especially with what's happening in the world, and especially in the U.S. down in Texas right now, you might want to watch Jericho.
Okay.
Because it's the whole premise, you get this in the first 5 minutes you turn on there. It's got Skeet Ulrich, Gerald McRaney, is in it. Trying to think if there's any other big names. There are some other actors that you're like, oh, I know them from this. Oh, I know them from, it's kind of one of those things, but those are the two big names that are in this. Skeet Ulrich is that his father and son. He's coming back home to Jericho. I think they're in Iowa. I think it is. Okay. Like the middle America somewhere. Might be Kansas. It's Jericho, Kansas. That's what it is. And he's coming back home. He's been gone for a lot of years. And, there's tension, father-son stuff. And anyways, he's comes in trying to get some money, and he's going to leave. And when he's leaving, all of a sudden, he sees a mushroom cloud coming from Colorado, Denver area. And so it's like, okay, what's going on? And over the course of the first episode, you find out that there have been tactical strikes all throughout the U.S., and nobody knows what's going on. And it's kind of dealing with all of that, and then when you get to there becomes an issue with a neighboring town. And,
of course. Yeah,
and then it kind of carries over into that, and then on top of this the issues that's going on between the two of them, this town, there are factions that are trying to set up new U.S. governments, and then that gets thrown into it.
Okay. Yeah. So this is a TV version of the book series I just finished reading.
Could be.
So it's...
This is the 1 minute after, or the one...
This is the 1 second after... was it 1 second after 1 year after the final day, but he's just put out a new book called 5 years after.
Okay, I've heard about these books, and we've talked about them on here before.
And they happen in Appalachia.
Yeah. This is in Kansas, and it's kind of and of course there's other stuff going on as well, but it's really kind of cool of how is this? What happens to this small town along the way of dealing with literal nuclear fallout and what's going on? What are our resources? What are our, and it was it was on CBS back in the day. And it's got I tell you, that first season is great. The second season is not bad, but CBS, here's the short story on it.
Yeah.
It came down to the last, it ends on a cliffhanger. The first season does, and a pretty good one.
Well, of course,
on top of it all, but and it was one of those that it was doing pretty well in the ratings when it first came on, and then it did its typical, it was on for a few episodes or whatever in the fall, and then it didn't come back until February.
Yeah,
it was it went off the air in late November, early December, didn't come back till February. And when it came back in February, they moved the time slot and all that kind of stuff, so the ratings fell off. But it was still doing pretty decent ratings. But it came down all the way down to the end of the season, and they still hadn't renewed it. And so the fans did this because there's this whole, in the last episode, there's this whole thing about nuts, okay?
Yeah.
And so the fans started sending pallets of nuts to the CBS offices. There was they actually had video on the website of these pallets of nuts that were Planters peanuts and stuff that had been
that's funny.
And they finally they basically uncanceled it, and they were like, we're going to do it. And they said they were going to do all this stuff, which they never did, because I really don't think they wanted to bring it back, but the fan outcry was so big, and so they finally did do a little. I think it's either 8 or 10 episodes or something.
Yeah, and then canceled it again.
And then canceled it again, and canceled it immediately. It was it was done before it ever aired the first episode. As a matter of fact, it was during the summer that they aired all the episodes. I never even saw all the episodes for the second season because they put it on during the summer and bounced it all over the place just to kind of burn them off. And it was when the DVDs came out, I finally got them and got to watch the entire thing. But then the writers did a 4-issue miniseries comic book that continued the story beyond that season a little bit, and it's called Jericho Civil War or something like that. And it's pretty good. It's got the right tone to it and everything,
Yeah.
But it's a good. I wrote back and rewatched it a few years ago, just because I think it was actually during 2020 when we were all hanging out inside. And I'm like, well, I got all this stuff on my shelf. I might started rewatching a bunch of stuff, and I rewatched it. I was like, damn, this show is a lot. Like, I remembered it being really good, and it turned out to be even better than I remembered. And I was like, dude, this is cool. So.
Now, kids, I want you to take note of something. Mm-hmm. He said during 2020, when we were all locked inside our houses.
Locked inside our house. Well,
we
were all supposed to be locked.
He went over and said, look at all this stuff on my shelf that I should watch.
While everyone else was watching the Tiger King or whatever BS that was being pushed out there, I was pulling stuff off the shelf like, oh, let's go back and rewatch this, which I did. And several things. So,
physical media.
Look, I have you need to go look at my Blu-rays in there because I have.
You're having to go back and rebuy all of your stuff all over again.
It's like the third time I've done it. Okay,
I know.
And we've gone over this before of why and we're going over this. We've gone over this before, so you know why I had gotten rid of them the last time because I thought I had found another solution for it, but I didn't have to worry about streaming or whatever any longer. And then that crapped out. I'm like, you know what doesn't crap out? Physical media,
which I tried to tell you.
I know, but I have built up a pretty good collection again and still working on it.
Yeah.
And the thing is like, even with like a lot of like the DVD sets of movies or of television series, a lot of that stuff is not available to stream anywhere. So I never got rid of those. Yeah. I was like, no, I'm hanging on to this because, and then the thing is like they're spread out across so many different platforms.
Yep.
Which an episode we're going to do a little bit later, we're going to talk about that of having to try to be able to watch, and it was just like, you got to be kidding me. So yeah, that's kind of become I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm just going to hang on to all this stuff because again, it doesn't go anywhere. And it takes up room, but who cares?
Yeah.
I've got crap ton of shelf space in there, the built-in cabinet and everything. Like, all right, well, dude, I can fill this entire thing up without any problems. Plus the fact there are some things that are just not available on streaming.
Nope.
Just not available. And now what's weird is that Warner Brothers has started farming out a lot of their stuff to like Tubi and Pluto TV and stuff like that. So like literally you can go on Tubi and watch The Batman.
Yeah.
And a lot of that, the DC stuff is all on there now, which is like, who would have ever thought that would happen? Because they had it locked down with Max, being on Warner Brothers property and everything. But it's just like, that's crazy. So, which is nice to be, because I tell you what, Tubi, I watched a movie, I don't know, it was after the first of the year sometime. Actually, you know what, it might have been New Year's Eve because I was just hanging out here not doing anything. I was like, there's this movie from the early 90s that I really liked that I had not seen since the early 90s. It's not available streaming anywhere, and I have not been able to find a hard copy of it. I know it's available. I've seen it, but it's out of print. You just can't find it anymore.
Yeah.
It's a movie called Welcome Home, Roxy Carmichael.
I've heard you talk about this.
It's got Winona Ryder and what's his name? Jeff, who's in Dumb and Dumber with Jim Carrey.
Daniels.
Jeff Daniels. Jeff Daniels is in it. And there's a few other like, oh, I know that person.
Yeah.
I know that person. And it's a little quirky indie movie.
Wait, haven't we talked about this thing? Did we do an episode on this?
No. We have not. No, we have not done an episode on this one. Okay. I think we've talked about whatever. It was a movie that it's funny because, like I said, it's a little quirky indie movie.
Yeah.
And it was kind of my...
Which they don't make anymore.
I know. And it was kind of my introduction to Melissa Etheridge.
Okay.
Because she has a couple of songs in it that are prominently, one of them has never been released. Like it wasn't on the soundtrack. It's never been released at all. It was only in the movie. And the other one is... it's a song called I Will Never Be the Same, which is on Yes I Am, which was her big breakout album.
Yeah.
And one of the reasons that I bought that album was because I liked that song so much from seeing the movie.
Yeah.
Anyway, I could not find... I'd been thinking, I was like, I really want to watch this movie. And I went over, I was like, I wonder. Went over to Tubi. What do you know? It's right there. So, all right, cool. And it's just... And I wound up rewatching. I was like, you know what? This movie held up pretty well.
Nice.
It's a little dated for its time. And
Tubi still got commercials and stuff.
It does, but the great thing about it is that the commercial comes on, and then after it's done, you're right back into the movie again. Now, sometimes those breaks can be a little jarring of where they put the commercials.
But it literally stops and then does the commercial, and it literally starts again right where it
ended.
So, like, say if you somehow had a way to record it off of Tubi, there would be a way to actually edit the commercials out of it.
There are ways to do that. We're not going to get into it, but whatever. But yeah, little movies like that just kind of disappeared to time.
Yeah.
Or they wind up being on there, which is kind of cool. Although there is one movie, and there has been a Shout Factory release of it, and I'm half tempted to buy it, although I have not seen the movie in 30 plus years, and it was already probably 10 years old at the time when I saw it.
Okay.
It's a movie called Get Crazy. It's got let me see if it's streaming anywhere. You know what? It's not even listed.
Really?
Like I go over to Just Watch, and it doesn't even pop up. It's got all these other movies that have the words "get" or "crazy" in it, but it doesn't have the two of them together. So I'm going to assume that it's not streaming anywhere. But it's got Daniel Stern. Hold on, let me pull up the 1983. Okay, here's the cast list. It's got Malcolm McDaniel, Daniel Stern, Gil Edwards, Ed Begley Jr. Let's see, Lou Reed.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Lee Ving, John Densmore from the Doors.
It is literally not streaming anywhere. I've hit like 3 or 4 different.
Robert Picardo, Bobby Sherman, Fabian. Who else is in this? Go down. It's one of those. There are a bunch of musicians in it. Dick Miller, because Dick Miller is in everything good. And I'm sure go ahead. But it's basically. This is the IMDb plot. So
it's on YouTube.
Is it? Yeah, it may be. Mega promoter Colin Beverly plans to sabotage the New Year's 1983 concert of small-time operator Max Wolf. Wolf's assistants Neil Allen and Willie Loman find romance while trying to save the drugs, violence, and rock and roll from Beverly's schemes. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you can get a copy of it on Amazon on Blu-ray for $35.
Yeah, I can get it cheaper than that, and because I actually found a copy of it recently, and I'm like, I may have to pick this up. I saw this movie when it aired on television, like late night on one of the UHF stations back in.
Sure, it wasn't USA Up All Night.
No, it wasn't. Well, it may have been on there. But when I watched it, I think it was on like one of our local UHF channels.
Yeah.
And it was like Saturday night at like midnight or something like that, and I really loved it because it's a wacky 1980s sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then years later, I actually found a copy of it at the video store and rented it and watched the unedited version of it because it was edited for television and everything, and it still was as good as I remembered it being. And so I'm kind of like, maybe it's one of those I need to go pick up just because we all have those little weird movies that we saw somewhere down the line. It's like Night of the Comet or something like that, which is another one that Shout Factory put out a Blu-ray of in recent years. I'm like, I may have to go pick that up because that's
old TV shows that you enjoyed watching as a kid.
Exactly.
Here's a TV show that I'd completely forgot about. Mm-hmm. And there's this restaurant that we tend to go eat at on Sunday afternoons after church and where we live at. And on one of the TVs, the last couple times we've been in there, they've been playing this old TV show.
Okay.
And I was like, what is that? I can't remember what the name, and it was The Renegade.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember The Renegade?
I remember Renegade, yeah.
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 I was like, holy crap, they're playing episodes of The Renegade.
You may or may not know this.
Okay.
But Amazon Prime is now streaming all seasons of Northern Exposure with its original music.
No.
Yes. This is a recent thing that's happened. And I was like, I'm going to save this until Dave because I knew you were going to get that reaction. So it's
At one point, I had a couple of the seasons.
Yeah,
on
but the
DVD.
music wasn't.
No, it
but
wasn't.
this has they got the license for all the original music, and they are all on there. Every season.
Did
is on
they
there now.
really?
Yep, it's on Amazon Prime.
I wonder how long it's going to stay.
I don't know, but I'd go watch it if I were you. So. And I can see the gears like, what kind of time do I have?
No, I'm thinking like, do I have an extra $300 to pick up a piece of gear?
But yeah, but
to do that thing that we were talking about
here's the
previously.
If I'm not mistaken, there is a version of it's a complete series version of Northern Exposures that has the original music that's been released, but they're kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
Now there is like if you go to Walmart. There is a complete
but it's
series.
not the original.
It doesn't have the original,
No.
but there is a version of it that is available. But they, like I said, they're kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
So, they did the same thing with the Wonder Years.
Yeah.
The versions that were out of that for the longest time, a lot of the original music they couldn't get licensing for, and it's got these really cheap knockoffs.
Yeah.
But then they went back over time and they finally negotiated to get the original, and they released it. They did the same thing with Married with Children because they couldn't get the licensing for Love and Marriage.
Yeah.
And so they had like this other knockoff version that was on there. It was like no. And then they finally put out a complete series, and it says right there on the front now with original theme.
Yeah.
So it's, because they knew because of the outcry and everything. But yes, you can now go and watch all of Northern Exposure with the original music and enjoy Sicily, Alaska.
Because while I enjoyed the storylines and all that, my favorite parts of it were Chris.
I know, in the radio station.
I know.
So I just made your day.
Yeah. Yeah, you really did.
Oh, man. I'll tell you a show that I want to go back and rewatch.
What's that?
It's only one season. And it was because of a website that I've liked for 20-ish years. It's joeblow.com. And they do movie reviews and all that kind of stuff. And then they did a spin-off site that was called Arrow in the Head, which was like all horror stuff and everything. And then they have a YouTube channel. They have two YouTube channels. They have Joe Blow, and then they have the Joe Blow Horror channel. And I think it was on the horror channel here recently. They did a video about the television show American Gothic.
Oh,
Back
vaguely,
in the mid '90s, and I remember watching it again. It was one of those like this show is really cool. It was kind of one of those. It was one of those shows that was kind of in the wake of the X-Files becoming popular, where everybody was kind of trying to get their little supernatural show on the air.
Yeah.
But it's Sam Raimi, one of the producers on the show, and like his people show up on there. His brother shows up in the episode. What's his name?
Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell shows up in one. Different, all that kind of stuff. And it was a cool little show, but it only got one season, unfortunately. And but it's available on DVD. And after watching their little 15-minute review, I was like, I may have to go pick this up. And it's you can get it, you can pick it up. It's fairly inexpensive. But
talking about stuff that's been released on DVD, there is a company that has now released WKRP on DVD, and I asked for it for Christmas. Yeah, that's birds.
Man, that bird is loud.
Yeah,
right outside this window here. I was like, is something playing like a sound? It sounds like birds.
No, that's a bird. But
WKRP.
I asked for it for Christmas. I didn't get it, so I think I'm just gonna go buy it.
Yeah, myself. I know that's kind of. I have here recently. I have spent so much money on that kind of like physical media.
Yeah,
I got really lucky yesterday.
Oh.
There is, and I hate a little bit of this packaging, but I'm glad to have it because it's available. Like if you go to Walmart. Oh, Walmart! Let me tell you, not every Walmart, but some of them have. They're carrying exclusive steel books, and so I bought the steel book for the Back to the Future trilogy.
Really?
And I also bought the steel book for Red Dawn. but there's one that you're gonna want.
Okay.
If you don't, I don't think you have. You remember when the Firefly trilogy was put out as a Target exclusive?
Yeah.
Walmart has their own exclusive of that now.
Oh, really?
It's a different, like the steelbook itself is a different or whatever, and it's fairly inexpensive. And I was like, well, if Dave's still looking for a Blu-ray version, wants those, then you can go pick it up there.
My problem is I need to buy a new Blu-ray machine.
Yeah.
Well, because mine has died.
Walmart, I don't know that it is a Walmart exclusive, but Walmart is carrying, it's the original Indiana Jones trilogy plus that other movie, and it's Steelbook Ultra 4K Blu-ray. It's expensive. And I'm like, because I want those movies, I want those 3 original movies, and I can care less about the other one, but you have to buy all of them together.
Yeah.
And so
Did you see the last Indiana Jones?
I refused to. I knew better. After what happened with the Crystal Skull crap, I was like, I'm not doing any more of these. I knew that it was going to be terrible. So
you aren't wrong.
I know.
It was not good.
So I was at a local used media place here.
And I blame Harrison Ford for everything.
And yesterday, and they had that set, and I got it for about half the price, and I was happy.
Nice.
And I also got a Blu-ray copy, a nice collector's edition of Poltergeist that they had as well.
Nice.
For a decent. And I was like, all right, cool. This is kind of cool. But yeah, that's when I was like, okay, cool. And it was funny because my son was with me. And he was looking at it. He's like, oh, that looks kind of cool. I was like, you haven't seen these movies, have you? He's like, no. I was like, oh, we're going to sit down and watch these.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
But that goes to the whole, there are only 3 Indiana Jones movies. It's like there's 4.5 Star Wars movies, and there's only 1 Highlander movie. And it's just like you go through all these, like, nope, those don't exist. And as of right now, there are 3 Ghostbusters movies. I know we got another one coming out, and that's yet to be determined whether or not it's going to be included or not. So
I'm actually cautiously optimistic.
I am cautiously optimistic because Afterlife was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
But they're still going to have to prove a lot to me with this.
Annie Potts' character.
Yeah.
I can't think of her name right now.
Janine.
Yeah. I have, in the cartoon,
right,
she got to suit up.
Right.
I have seen shots from studio
with her in the suit.
I'm
all for it, dude.
I really hope they
let her move into Egon's role. Honestly, yeah. I mean, I have zero problem with that whatsoever. So, but yeah, that and that's a little preview for something we're going to be talking about here before long. So. There's your preview of our potentially one of our next couple episodes. So.
I might have posted a picture with a hint.
Yeah, maybe.
Over on Discord, if you want to go check out our Discord.
So now that we've rambled for about an hour.
If you haven't signed up for our Discord yet,
you really need to.
You really should go over and join us on Discord.
Really need to.
We've got an excellent community over there.
We absolutely do. I know it's been quiet here lately because we're all dealing with life. But yeah, go check out our Discord, check out all of our other social media. All of that's I'll get it out in a second. All of that is posted in our show notes, and as well as if you really need to get in touch with us, there's a email address.
Have we gotten an email?
Not recently, not since the last one. So, I hope you guys are doing well, enjoying February. We're right here on the. We're recording this, and this will go live right before the dreaded VD, and
not the way I was expecting you to put that. That's horrible.
I hope everyone enjoys their VD, and
if you don't know what he's talking about, it's Valentine's Day, and guys, if you've waited this long, it's too late.
Yeah, you're kind of. I'm going to be enjoying the 14th the same way I normally do, which is sitting
alone and crying.
No, I will have my son will be with me, so that's
Okay.
That's better than anything. Yeah, that's.
Oh, but if you have a Costco near you, you might be okay because I've had good luck at the last minute at Costco.
You know, we've got a BJ's opening up right here close by.
You better explain what you're talking about.
It's a wholesale BJ's Wholesale Club.
Okay.
And they've moved in. They've already opened one in the area around, or one or two of them around the area.
Where are they from originally?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but they are opening one like literally right up the road here before long, and so I think the grand opening is next month if I'm not mistaken. So, and I'm kind of interested to see what they carry.
You got a new Costco up the road from you in Hendersonville now.
Is there a Costco in Hendersonville now?
Yeah.
Where's it up on Indian Lake?
It's you know where the hospital is?
Yeah.
It's kind of the other side of the hospital from the shopping center.
On New Shackle?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, and that little where the was it Food Lion used to be or whatever it is over there?
No,
not there.
No, if you're running up the bypass,
if
you look to your right before you get to the exit, it's right there.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I just happened to see it the other day.
I did not realize that. So the only Costco we have around here is all the way out west.
Not anymore.
West Nashville. So
that's
okay. I've never been in a Costco.
Oh,
so
we should go to lunch in Hendersonville and let me walk you around.
I don't care.
No, you should because
I know I keep hearing their hot dogs are really good or whatever. So
dude, the $1.50, you get a hot dog and a drink for $1.50. And their pizzas,
if I liked hot dogs, that would be a great.
Their $10 pizzas are huge and they're pretty good.
Cool. Oh, I know we said we were getting out of here once.
Oh,
I think we had talked about this here before about Little Caesars. Yeah. About how their pizza's garbage, except they have that
Detroit
style,
the deep dish.
I have seen several things here recently. People talking about Detroit style pizza, about how it started really catching on.
Well, Jets has always been Detroit style.
Yeah, but that I'm telling you, the first time that because I just always it's deep dish, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Or it's pan what we used to call pan pizza, and I was like, and I'm telling you, that pizza is some of the best pizza, and I've never thought in a million years I would say Little Caesars has some of the best pizza around, but they do if you get the deep deep
dish. Yeah. But it's at Detroit style. It's a square pan.
Yep.
So you get that crispy edge of cheese and bread around the entire edge.
I know.
There's only like 2 or 3 pieces in the middle that don't have.
Right. Well, the way they do it, you get two small pieces.
Yeah.
They're cut into fourths. And so it's like, every pizza has a.
It's kind of like the all corners brownie pan.
I love it, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, now that we've plugged, we need to I think we need to start looking for a sponsorship from some of these companies that we plug. So.
It'll never happen.
You never know. So, guys, thank you so much. We will be back really soon. We got some more cool stuff in our. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you this. The next 2 movies that we're covering are both from 1984. So that'll be looking forward to that. We've already hinted at one of them, and we will be back very soon.
Well, technically, we've hinted at 2 of them.
Did we hint at the other one?
Very, very vaguely talking about the weather.
Oh, well, yeah, there is that too.
Yeah.
So
all right.
So, guys, thank you so much. I am Alan Smith.
I'm the other guy, Big Dave.
And we will see you again real soon.
See ya.